Hello and welcome to Tumbleweeds and TV Cowboys. My name is Hunter. In this podcast, I'll be joined by a different guest each week to discuss a classic Western movie or TV show. I've been a fan of classic Westerns for as long as I can remember, and in recent years, they've become very nostalgic for me. I love the aesthetic, the tropes, and I love seeing different filmmakers' takes on them. At their best, they're incredibly entertaining, rewatchable, and some of my all-time favorite movies are Westerns. We'll mostly focus on Western movies made in Hollywood, but we'll also be covering spaghetti Westerns, and one thing I'm very excited to get into are Western TV shows. I've got some amazing guests coming on the show, film professors, historians, and podcasters. And Tumbleweeds and TV Cowboys is part of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network, and many guests on the show will be from other shows on the network. Thanks for listening.
Hello, my name is Kevin Tudor, and I'm one of the three hosts of Almost Major, a film podcast dissecting many major indie studios and the films they release. Every week, myself, Charlie Nash, and Bryden Doyle discuss overlooked, forgotten, or bona fide classic indie films via studio-specific miniseries. We've previously covered numerous films from Artisan Entertainment, Lionsgate Films, and New Line Cinema. Titles including The Blair Witch Project, American Psycho, Dogville, But I'm a Cheerleader, Saw, Requiem for a Dream, and Ringmaster, you know, the Jerry Springer film. Anyways, we have a fun time every week and we hope you will join us. Subscribe to Almost Major wherever you get your podcasts. Now proudly a part of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Kulturecast. I'm Chris Stachiw, your intrepid host, and I'm joined by everyone's favorite co-host and one of my best friends.
We're fucking back, baby!
a true man of the people, Mr. Eric Niss.
What the fuck is up, people? Fucking unzip your pants and get ready for
open up a bag of caramel corn Oreos.
Oh
and
fuck no! Don't do that. No.
Kettle corn Oreos, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, what's worse, kettle corn Oreos or candy corn Oreos?
I think candy corn Oreos are probably worse. Because candy corn is just bad.
Candy corn is an abomination.
I don't know. I mean, I usually eat about 37 of them, every October, and then I realize that I hate them.
What's worse, candy corn or those the little pumpkins?
Oh, the little pumpkins are way worse.
They're like giant candy corn.
Yeah, they're disgusting.
They're nice and chalky, and they got that really
What is candy corn even made out of?
Sugar. I think it's just sugar. It's just like fucking straight sugar. It's awful. And made out of I don't know, the ashes of animals that they cremate at the crematorium that they mix with nougat. It's awful. The question is why do we need so many flavors of Oreos at this point? We've got limeade Oreos, candy corn Oreos, cherry cola Oreos, Swedish fish Oreos. Fuck off. We need 4 flavors of Oreos tops.
Swedish fish Oreos? Who the fucking Swedish dingleberries are coming up with all this shit?
I don't know. It's like that Kit Kat thing, the Kit Kat flavors in Japan that are all over the place. It's I get it from trying to kind of entice new people to try different things, and it's like a novelty, but is anyone really eating waffles and syrup Oreos? For real, is that a thing anyone wants? We're going to talk about Ant-Man and the Wasp. Marvel's third movie this year, and we're going to inevitably end up talking about some of the other movies we've seen in between Ant-Man and the Wasp and the last time we talked, which was, I don't even remember at this point. It's been so long. Unfortunately, with the holidays kind of showing up, very little gets done podcast-wise because just the holidays for me are kind of hard because normally family's here and it's kind of hard to get anything done. Not giving myself a reason, but there it is. So let's talk about Ant-Man and the Wasp, shall we? Came out in 2018, it's directed again by Peyton Reed, who directed the first Ant-Man film. and it sees a returning Paul Rudd as Ant-Man under house arrest, and he is broken out of house arrest by Hope Van Dyne, aka the Wasp, and Hank Pym, aka Michael Douglas, to help them find the Wasp's mother, played by Michelle Pfeiffer. And along the way, they run into Ghost, played by Hannah John Kamen, who you may recognize as one of the villains from Ready Player One.
So, how long have you been Ant-Man again?
Not long. It just sort of happened.
I wish I could fight bad guys like you.
I seem to mess it up almost every time.
Maybe you just need someone watching your back. Hi. Like a partner.
Dr. Pym, I actually heard what happened to you. You opened up the quantum realm. That's when this crazy creepy ghost who walks through walls and stuff. Stole your tech. And now she wants to take over the world or whatever. Who would have believed that in your hour of need, you would turn to us?
Not me.
Because we robbed you. Do you remember? That's us.
The only chance we've got is both of you. Ant-Man and the Wasp teaming up.
Follow my lead.
She seems more intense.
Get loose now.
No. You go low, I'll go high.
I have wings. Why would I go low?
I need to get down.
We're gonna die. I don't want to die. We didn't die.
Hey, what'd I miss?
We were just tiny.
It takes two to make a thing go right.
I was partners with Hank on a project called Goliath.
How big did you get?
My record, 21 feet. You?
65 feet.
65.
If you two are finished comparing sizes,
65.
All right, Eric, what did you think of Ant-Man and the Wasp, considering how I know you didn't like the first Ant-Man, so...
It's not that I didn't like the first Ant-Man, I just thought it was...
I mean, that wouldn't be an unpopular
very
opinion.
okay.
Everybody, I don't know anyone other than myself that, really liked the first Ant-Man.
I just thought it was very okay. You know, it's sort of it's just like a nice afternoon popcorn movie that just doesn't matter. And I felt pretty much the same about this movie. It's just a nice popcorn, nothing, meh, whatever. I didn't feel like I totally wasted my time going to see this movie, but I also thought I could have gone my entire life without watching this movie and never regretted it.
So I understand the sentiment, but I feel like, and this is, again, I'm standing by this, and again, I don't care. This is my favorite Marvel movie now.
Oh, no.
Okay, so here's why. So yeah, I would say outside of the original Iron Man, which obviously it's kind of a weird movie to begin with because of where we are now versus the original Iron Man. This movie is, you'll agree with me on this. This movie is super standalone. Nothing that happens in this movie, aside from the end stinger, has anything to do with anything we've seen up until this point in the Marvel Cinematic Universe this year.
Yeah, and in that way, I mean, maybe it's just conditioning now because we've seen so many of the ensemble movies like Civil War and the Avengers and fucking Infinity War and even fucking Black Panther. Even though Black Panther was a very standalone thing because we got introduced to a new character and everything, it's still tied into the universe in a few different ways that sort of made sense contextually.
And the stinger is a tie-in. The stinger at the end is a super tie-in. And I honestly think it may be the best post-credit scene Marvel's ever done because of it's similar to Infinity War's gut punch of an ending, but it's a gut punch of an ending in a way that's that's the fucking way this movie that's been pretty upbeat the entire time is going to end.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. That was like really the only part of the movie that I was like, oh yeah, all right, finally they fucking tied it in.
You won't see the engineer that slams the Nissan Rogue's door 13,920 times. Or the corrosive chamber that simulates 15 years of life in 5 months. Or the Rogue heat-baked for over 300 combined hours. What you will see is a vehicle that can take punch after punch and keep rolling. Nissan, #1 in new vehicle quality among mainstream brands by J.D. Power. We put it through the worst, so you get its best. For J.D. Power 2025 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Awards based on 2025 model year. Newer models may be shown.
If you're looking for more horror outside of the mainstream, look no further than Unsung Horrors, a podcast about underseen horror movies. I'm Lance.
And I'm Erica. Every other week, we'll cover a horror movie with fewer than 1,000 views on Letterboxd. We'll even give you double feature recommendations to pair with the movies we discuss.
From gothic to shot on video, from slashers to comedies, from giallo to J-horror, we'll cover all the subgenres. So join us as we unearth these hidden gems of horror.
Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, all at Unsung Horrors, available wherever you listen to podcasts. And part of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
Into fucking, Infinity War, where like I don't know, the whole movie I was like, they're not going to reference like the gigantic donuts in the sky in the world. Like they're not even going to be like, oh shit, there's this weird stuff that's happening, maybe we should go help. And then they're like, no, focus, we got to do this other thing that we started to do.
So couple things. So I think from here on out we talk spoilers. My pre-spoiler suggestion, I mean, I'm not going to give a rating pre-spoiler, but pre-spoiler suggestion is go see it. I would assume you're in the same camp. Go see it.
Yeah, go see it. It's fine. I mean, I don't know. If you're like me and you didn't really like the first Ant-Man, then I don't know, maybe wait for it to be like on Netflix or something and watch it then. But
it's better than the first Ant-Man, though.
I don't know. It felt the same as the first Ant-Man to me. Like it didn't.
And this one's villain at least this one had an interesting villain. The first movie's villain is one of the weakest parts of the film. As much as I like Corey Stoll as an actor, because I really do, everything I've seen him in has been pretty great. He's kind of given a shit task to essentially be like second fiddle Obadiah Stane, aka Jeff Bridges from Iron Man. That's what his character felt like in the original Ant-Man.
Yeah, but still, like, I don't know. I started off like kind of liking Ghost, and then by the end I was like, oh, well, I don't really care anymore. And God, what's his name? The guy who's in everything. He's a bad
Larry
guy.
F, dude. Lawrence Fishburne or Walton Goggins?
No, Walton Goggins, dude. Lawrence Fishburne, I was like, yeah, tight. Lawrence Fishburne, you're awesome. Walton Goggins, also awesome, but like he just plays the same fucking guy that he plays in everything in this movie.
But he was better in this movie than he was in Tomb Raider.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know.
I hope this is not the last we've seen of his character.
I hope so too, because then it wouldn't be a waste of such a good actor.
They also set up some like interesting stuff because they never say who he's working for. And like I felt like that might be like a bigger thing possibly in the third Ant-Man movie, is like who he's working for might be some like big reveal. I don't know. I mean, they made a point of him being like, oh, the people I'm working for, so maybe it's like not an important issue. I don't know. But if like the Marvel movies, every time they say something, it feels very calculated. Like there's a reason. Especially, and when we talk about the Stinger, we can talk about kind of how this ties back into Infinity War. But again, for me, this movie, my favorite Marvel movie so far, it beats out Infinity War because I think it does. This movie is similar to Infinity War in a lot of ways, especially with like actually giving us an interesting villain, as opposed to most of the Marvel movies where the villain is pretty much one note and their motivation is kind of, I don't know, generic at best. But for me, like this movie had an interesting, like there's an actual villain and then there's like a villain who's not really a villain who you can actually really sympathize with, which again is
but she's the main villain though. Like the actual villain is like the side guy.
Crazy part about this movie, no villains die in this movie. How insane is that? There's like, I don't think anyone dies on screen in this movie except for in the flashbacks.
Yeah, because this movie is like it's like the sitcom of the Marvel universe. Like, people don't die in sitcoms.
Well, I mean, Corey Stoll's character died in the first Ant-Man, and in the first Ant-Man, that dude got turned into like a puddle of goop.
Yeah, but puddles of goop, like,
again, that's the thing about this movie that I appreciate versus the first Ant-Man. This movie felt very much like Peyton Reed's film. The first movie felt like Peyton Reed was brought in to take over someone else's movie, which is exactly what happened, because he came in to take over Edgar Wright's Ant-Man.
And that would have been a way better Ant-Man.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I mean, Edgar Wright, I love Hot Fuzz. Hot Fuzz is one of my favorite movies. I love The World's End. I think The World's End is the best of the three. I know that might be...
Yeah, I don't know. Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, World's End are all fucking awesome. Dude, fucking Baby Driver was fantastic.
If I had to rank those three, I would do The World's End, Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead. Shaun of the Dead just doesn't, like... It doesn't do it for me anymore the way it used to.
I don't know. I haven't seen it in a while, but I just watched Hot Fuzz recently and I was dying laughing. So
yeah. Have you seen The World's End recently?
Yeah, I did actually. And it didn't, I don't know. I mean, it was good, but not as good. I don't know.
It's one of those movies, like, when I first saw it, I hated it. But, like, as I've gotten older, like, I kind of appreciate the message of the movie more. Because, like, the message of the movie is not a message that, like, a teenager would really get.
Sure.
Because it's, like, it's about, like, when you're an adult versus when you're a teenager, as opposed to, like, when you're a teenager, it's hard. Yeah, so that, again, The World's End, I think it has aged better than the other two to some extent. I mean, Hot Fuzz is kind of timeless. Shaun of the Dead just... I don't know. Again, it's okay. But I don't know if Edgar Wright's Ant-Man would have been better. I think that's a conversation not really at this point worth having. I mean, I think at this point...
we're so far removed from it at this point that it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and I mean, Taika Waititi came in and did his own thing with Thor Ragnarok. Ryan Coogler came in and did his own thing with Black Panther. To some extent, or not to some extent, Peyton Reed came in and did his own thing with Ant-Man and the Wasp. It is very tonally different than all of the other Marvel films. So it's nice to see Marvel is actually giving these directors a lot of, like, room to breathe and do something different and do something exciting with these characters, and not just fucking Captain America 1 and Thor 1, which were such bad movies that there's no point in revisiting them at this point, because they're like, the characters are so wildly different from where they were then that it's like, why would I watch the original Thor when Thor Ragnarok's version of Thor is so much more entertaining?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I definitely agree that, you know, some of those older movies just don't hold up as well.
Yeah.
But they've also, like, had the benefit of, like, now several movies to really suss out those characters, and the actor gets to spend more time with them, and the writers get to spend more time with them, and the directors get to spend more time with them. And, you know, things are just inevitably going to get better over time. But, you know, I don't know.
Which leads to one of my complaints with this movie. It feels like Paul Rudd's Ant-Man in this movie, Scott Lang, is, like, been dumbed down. It's like he's it's like a dum-dum in this movie, and I don't get it.
That's what everybody is saying that I've talked to that's seen it, or like reviews that I've looked at and things like that, is his character is really kind of thrown to the wayside to make room for Evangeline Lilly, which I'm totally cool with her having a lot more screen time in this movie, because honestly, she's awesome. I like her character. She's a fucking good actress, and she plays the character really well. And this movie is called Ant-Man and the Wasp. So
it should have been called The Wasp and Ant-Man. Like,
honestly,
that would have been, like, you know what? That would have been a fucking ballsy ass move. And
I don't even think it's, for me, it's not even about, like, the screen time. It's about how he was used in the screen time that he was in. Like you said, they fucking dumbed him down. They made him a bumbling idiot in this movie. And he's like, in the first movie, he's like a master's in electrical engineering.
Yeah.
And he's like, he like does parkour and shit. And he's like a very capable guy.
And you see him break into Hank Pym's house, which turns out to be a test. But
right.
like, and in this movie, they like retcon it. They're like, oh, no, I broke in. It's like, but that's not even what happened.
Yeah, no,
it was
like,
a whole, like,
hard
part
to do.
of the original movie was that whole, like, scene where he, like, figures out a way to open the safe, that really, like, special safe. And it's like, I mean, I don't know why they did it, but at the same time, like, again, like you said, Evangeline Lilly is so great in this movie that I kind of don't care. But at the same time, I really love Paul Rudd in the Marvel universe.
You won't see the engineer that slams the Nissan Rogue's door 13,920 times, or the corrosive chamber that simulates 15 years of life in 5 months, or the Rogue, heat-baked for over 300 combined hours. What you will see is a vehicle that can take punch after punch and keep rolling. Nissan, #1 in new vehicle quality among mainstream brands by J.D. Power. We put it through the worst, so you get its best. For J.D. Power 2025 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Awards based on 2025 model year. Newer models may be shown.
Have you ever wanted to dive deeper into the horror movies you love? Beyond the Blood is a horror podcast for fans who want more than just surface-level screams. We do deep dives into the movies that shaped us, digging into director commentaries, behind-the-scenes stories, deleted scenes, and the special features that most people skip. Each episode is a love letter to the genre. We break down how these films were made, the creative risks that paid off or didn't, and the lasting impact they've had on the genre as a whole. From 70s slashers to modern nightmares, we celebrate the craft, chaos, and characters that keep us coming back. If you're the kind of fan who rewatches movies with the commentary on, or you simply grew up in the video store horror aisle, the Beyond the Blood podcast was made for you. New episodes every single week. Subscribe, and let's dig deep. Welcome to the Beyond the Blood podcast.
Like, and I've had conversations with people that they don't seem to get what I'm saying when I say this, but how nuts is it that Paul Rudd is in the Marvel Universe?
Oh, it totally freaks me out.
Right?
Yeah.
You've got like Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, Robert Downey Jr. Mark Ruffalo is kind of in the same boat as Paul Rudd, but not so much. But
I like Mark Ruffalo. I think
yeah, but you've got like all these like big name action stars, and then you've got Paul Rudd.
Yeah, Paul Rudd, the comedian guy. Like, I don't know. It works.
It's perfect casting. I can't unsee him as Ant-Man. For me, it's perfect. It's like Robert Downey Jr. and Iron Man, Chris Hemsworth and Thor, perfect casting. Chris Evans and Captain America. Like, Paul Rudd is perfect casting.
Yeah, I just wish they wouldn't have like dumbed down his character in this movie. I think that irked me the most. It felt at times like there needed to be a laugh track, because they would have these parts that were like very obviously written to like be jokes and like be funny, and they like just didn't land well. Like when I went and saw it, there were parts like where the theater was laughing and having a good time and like things were cool, and then there were parts like where a joke just wouldn't land and the theater would be dead quiet. And then I would start laughing because of how bad the joke was and how nobody was laughing. And I was just like, the whole time I was like, dude, all this needs is a Seinfeld bass line, and this is the fucking greatest movie of all time. Just fucking every time fucking Paul Rudd walks into the fucking frame, just
I think that's like a condemnation of the Marvel Cinematic Universe as a whole at this point, that it's a little jokey.
No, but this movie felt even like,
right.
I don't know. It felt even more so. It felt more like an episode, like a really long episode of a Marvel TV show than it did like a Marvel movie. Like there was cool set pieces and the CGI is really good and like all the stuff in like the quantum realm. I was like, oh, this is tight. Like maybe, yeah, I don't know. It's just the rest of it. It just, I don't know. It felt like I just like watched a couple episodes in a row of like a really super high budget like Netflix show.
Well, and again, for me, it's like this is refreshing. This is a refreshing departure from Infinity War, it was an awesome movie. I mean, I really enjoyed it. I know you really liked it.
Yeah, but I also don't think that makes this movie better, because 5 years from now and anytime after that, nobody's going to give a shit when this movie came out in relation to Infinity War.
Right.
They're just going to watch it as its own standalone thing, and they're going to go like, I guess it's okay. Like,
but isn't that kind of what makes this movie a little bit better in a way, is that it can stand alone as its own thing? Like, it's like a self-contained story. Like they're telling one story, the story gets wrapped up. They don't go out of their way like in Age of Ultron to plug every motherfucking other movie that's coming up. The stinger at the end is the only tie-in. The story that they tell, I think the story that they tell is a very compelling story about, like, that Hank Pym is a fucking dirtbag that essentially, like, really sacrificed and cast asunder a lot of people in his life, including his wife, including Lawrence Fishburne, including including Ghost's dad, and he's like a total douchebag. And like there's some redemption there's like a redemption story within the movie of his character as well. So, and again, it's like this is about family, and like the Paul Rudd stuff with his daughter, I think is really touching. And you don't, I mean, again, that's a dynamic that we don't see anywhere else in the Marvel universe. You don't see that with any
And I actually
other
really liked those sequences with Paul Rudd and his daughter, or, whatever. It's not actually Paul Rudd's daughter, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And those sequences were really good. And I did really like, I don't know. I mean, you're right. It is kind of nice to go back to a movie where it's a one and done storyline, and it's not something that's like, all right, you can definitely tell that this is only part of the story because we set up a bunch of other stuff that we didn't even get close to even remotely talking about or wrapping up, which is basically what every Marvel movie has been for the last like several years, because it's all just been leading up to Infinity War. And that's cool. And I really like, we've talked about this. I've already like gotten to the point where I was definitely at superhero fatigue before Infinity War came out. And then I think a lot of that is because all these movies are just setting up shit. They're all just set up for something else. And then when I finally saw Infinity War, I was like, okay, that was cool. Like totally worth all the setup? Probably. I mean, shit. If I was going to sit down and watch fucking 18 movies like in a row and then watch Infinity War, I'd be like, fuck no. But the fact that I did it over fucking 10 years or whatever is like, all right. And like, maybe that's okay then.
Well, and let's be honest here. I mean, we'll really be able to tell the payoff of Infinity War with the next film.
Well, and that, then brings us back to the fucking mid-credits, like, scene
which, again,
at the end of this movie.
Which is an amazing cliffhanger. Like it's amazing. The way that they did it was like it completely like did a 180 with the tone of the film, because the tone of the film, like we said, no characters die. The movie's pretty lighthearted. It's got again, I disagree with you that I don't think most of the jokes land. I think maybe one or two. Nothing sticks out in my head. I mean, there were some funny reoccurring jokes like the truth serum joke, which I think may be like one of the funnier bits in the movie. Anything that Michael Pena is involved with in the film is comedy gold, but I mean, Michael Pena he's great.
I like Michael Pena in this movie, yeah.
But the way that they do the post-credit stinger, where he's trapped in the quantum realm, I mean, that's a hell of a fucking cliffhanger.
Well, yeah, then that opens up, how the fuck we're going to get out of what happened in Infinity War. So, and Ant-Man is the key, essentially, so.
Well, Ant-Man and Captain Marvel and Janet Van Dyne, Michelle Pfeiffer, the original Wasp, says something in that post-credit scene that I think if you've only seen the movie once, you're not really paying attention. She says, if you go into the time vortexes, we can't get you out. You'll be lost forever. And I think that is what happens. There's been set photos of Ant-Man at the battle for New York in the original Avengers movie. They recast his daughter, Ant-Man's daughter, in Avengers 4 to be 16 years old. So there's some form of time travel that's taking place. So he's going to time travel back and then possibly forward. And we know that Avengers 4 also takes place in the future from when Avengers 3 ended, because Robert Downey Jr. has been shown on set sporting like gray hair. So there's like all sorts of time travel that's going to be going on, which again, I think sounds pretty exciting if they can do it well. Time travel is
it's very complicated. It's the most complicated and impossibly hard thing to do in a movie and make it work.
Only if you're using a time machine.
We've had a lot of conversations about it. I guess if you just do magical time travel, then like all the rules don't apply.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like if it's not a time machine, if it's this quantum realm, it's different than a time machine, because the whole time machine is like, I have to be able to build it and tell myself to go through it. But
as long as there are clear rules about how the quantum realm works as far as like time travel, and I get that like quantum mechanics is impossibly hard to understand even for extremely smart people who are much, much smarter than we are, but like at least give me something that sounds plausible that I can go like, all right, that sounds sciencey enough.
You won't see the engineer that slams the Nissan Rogue's door 13,920 times, or the corrosive chamber that simulates 15 years of life in 5 months, or the Rogue heat-baked for over 300 combined hours. What you will see is a vehicle that can take punch after punch and keep rolling. Nissan, #1 in new vehicle quality among mainstream brands by J.D. Power. We put it through the worst, so you get its best. For JD Power 2025 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Awards based on 2025 model year. Newer models may be shown.
Yeah, don't just go like, because Quantum Realm. Yeah.
Which I don't think they're going to do.
Yeah. Marvel's pretty good about not just going like, this works because we say it fucking works. I mean, every movie does that a little bit and you have to suspend your disbelief. And I'm okay with that. I like suspending disbelief. But, make it easy for me to do. Don't make me have to bend over backwards so that your fucking stupid time travel premise works.
Yeah. No, I agree. And again, I'm super excited to see where the next movie goes. I think that Captain Marvel will be interesting. They've said that Captain Marvel is going to incorporate the multiverse, microverse, quantum realm, whatever you want to call it, in some form or fashion. So, I mean, that's the whole point of this movie and Captain Marvel is to explain the quantum realm so that when people see Infinity War 4, Infinity War Endgame, whatever it's called, it makes sense and people aren't like, what the fuck is the quantum realm? What's going on here? So it's like a primer for those. These two are a primer for that movie, which is cool. I mean, again, that's good on Marvel for giving a shit about making people being able to understand what's going on here. Because again, we're getting to the point now where with Ant-Man and Doctor Strange, they were introducing stuff that's not as easily understandable.
Yeah.
I mean, remember when people thought Thor's stuff was weird, where it's like gods on Asgard, and that's like fucking child's play compared to this stuff.
Yeah. When they were like, yeah, fucking, Rainbow Bridge. And we were all like, what? And then they were like, yeah, quantum physics and stuff and Einstein-Rosen and things like that. And we were all like, okay, dude, yeah, whatever. It's just space magic. Who cares? Now I'm all like, all right. It's not space magic anymore. Now it's guys in suits breaking in between the space of atoms and stuff. So getting down to the quantum level of matter or whatever. Which, I don't know, I'm fascinated by all of that stuff. So if they can actually work in some real plausible science, of course they're just making shit up. It's a fucking comic book movie. I don't expect it to be factual. But if they can work in some stuff from real life, I always really like that because then I can go oh, they took this idea that this crazy scientist had and they were like, what if he's right? But more than that, what if he's right to the nth degree? And then you have little nuggets of information and movies that are stupid actually make you smarter.
Well, I think that's taking Ant-Man and the Wasp a little too far, but you never know. So
Ant-Man and the Wasp did not make me smarter. It did not.
But before we wrap up talking about this and kind of transition into just talking about some summer movies that we've seen, I do want to give props to Peyton Reed. He is now one of 4 returning directors in the Marvel Universe. So we've had James Gunn, Joss Whedon, the Russo brothers, and Peyton Reed. So good on them.
Those are the only ones who have done more than one?
Mm-hmm. Because our first Iron Man was Jon Favreau. The first Captain America was Joe Johnston. The first Thor was Kenneth Branagh. The second Thor was that dude who directed some episodes of Game of Thrones. The second Captain America was obviously the Russo brothers. I think the third Captain America was the Russo brothers. And then obviously Infinity War 1 and 2 is the Russo brothers. I don't remember who directed Doctor Strange. I'm trying to think what else. Obviously, James Gunn, Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2. So, again, I mean, it's nice to see Peyton Reed came back and kind of got to make a movie that he felt like he was more a part of and was able... I've read interviews with him where he's like, this is more of my movie as opposed to just a movie that I was brought in to direct.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and it does feel just that little bit more. I don't know.
It doesn't feel like a typical Marvel movie.
It feels a little bit different. This movie does, not in a good or a bad way. It feels like its own fucking thing, which is, I mean, some people might like it. I think that it sort of just makes it feel a little bit too out of the realm of what we've been watching so far, but maybe some people need a palate cleanser. I personally just want shit to keep going sideways and bad and down because I like that.
Well, and I mean, who
and
knows?
It did at the very end. I mean, fuck. I don't know. We'll see. It's a superhero fucking movie, man. I'm not expecting to be wowed and,
Not every movie can be Infinity War.
Not every movie can be Infinity War.
So what would you give Ant-Man and the Wasp out of 5?
Out of 5, I'm going to give it a 2.
Oh my God, what?
Yeah, maybe a 2.5. I don't know.
Shit.
I'm not talking shit on how the movie was made or the acting acting or the directing. I'm really just, the whole feel of the movie just felt it felt like a sitcom to me. It felt like the Marvel Universe sitcom. It felt like, I don't know. Maybe I'll watch it again, when it's fucking out on Netflix or something, and I'll have a change of heart about it. But right now, I don't know. It didn't feel like, it felt worthy of my TV at my house when I'm sitting in my underwear watching Netflix with my dog drinking a beer. Like, that's what it felt like. If I would have watched a movie in that environment, I'd have been like, damn, that was pretty good. But like, I went to the theater and I saw it on this big, huge screen, and I spent, fucking $10 on a fucking thing of popcorn and another $10 on a fucking beer. And I was like, it just didn't feel right. I don't know. It felt, the feeling of the movie, the spectacle of the movie is definitely large screen cinema style spectacle, but the feeling of the movie is very small screen. It's the only way that I can describe it that makes even a remote amount of sense. And I know that it makes zero. So
no, I get it. Again, I think this movie is a lot more compared to Infinity War. It's a lot more small scale. So,
but I mean, not even. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, whatever. I'm not going to defend my stance any longer. I didn't really like this movie, even though there's a lot of things about this movie that I did like. I think as a whole, it's just kind of meh.
No, I get it. I would give it a 4.5 out of 5. Me personally.
Damn.
Hey, man.
That's hardcore. That's high.
That's high. What do you think the film has on Rotten Tomatoes?
I mean, it's a fucking Marvel movie. I'm sure it's fucking way up there. It's got to be in like the high 80s or some shit.
86%.
Boom.
A lighter, brighter superhero movie powered by the effortless charisma of Paul Rudd and Evangeline Lilly, Ant-Man and the Wasp offers a much-needed MCU palate cleanser. Yeah, sure. I mean, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, but yeah, my whole thing is in a couple years, nobody's going to care about that palate cleanser.
Right. That's a current thing.
It's like when you go and you eat a meal, nobody remembers the palate cleanser later and goes like, hey, you remember that palate cleanser in between courses? That was fucking great.
Unless it's like amazing.
Nobody says that. Nobody ever says that because palate cleanser is just supposed to just
courses.
Be like,
come on now.
It's just supposed to be nothing. It's just supposed to be like unoffensive, unobtrusive. Like it just goes on smooth and comes out smooth. I don't know.
Wow, but Jesus. Yeah. So Simon Abrams for RogerEbert.com gave it a 3 out of 4 and said Ant-Man and the Wasp may not be the best anything, but like its perpetually challenged hero, it is plenty good enough. And Peter Travers of Rolling Stone said, thrill of the film is watching Ant-Man and the Wasp team up and raise hell together, giving it a 3 out of 4 as well. Both of those are fresh, so critics seem to like it a lot as well. So there you go. Well, let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk a little bit about the movies we didn't get a chance to talk about.
Who is Carl Kolchak?
You won't see the engineer that slams the Nissan Rogue's door 13,920 times. Or the corrosive chamber that simulates 15 years of life in 5 months. Or the Rogue heat-baked for over 300 combined hours. What you will see is a vehicle that can take punch after punch and keep rolling. Nissan, #1 in new vehicle quality among mainstream brands by J.D. Power. We put it through the worst, so you get its best. For J.D. Power 2025 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Awards based on 2025 model year. Newer models may be shown.
The audio commentary. It's a dying art form, but here at One Track Mind, I, your wonky yet affable host Ryan Luis Rodriguez, analyze film through the prism of these embryonic forms of podcasting, one audio commentary at a time. Masterpieces, crapster pieces, live action, animation, cult classics, films literally no one has ever heard of. No track is too small and no track is too big. Join me and my guests from the entertainment world as we keep these features alive every other Tuesday. Hey, who else is going to discuss Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey one week and Citizen Kane the next? Us, that's who. Sure, you have to put up with my voice, but there's a certain give and take in this industry. That's One Track Mind, part of the Someone's Favorite Productions family, and available wherever you get your podcasts.
He's a reporter.
Now that is news, Vincenzo. News! And we are a news paper. We are supposed to print news, not suppress it.
With the INS.
What's an INS?
Independent news servicer founded in 1904 by Enrico Paluzzi.
Who seems to have a nose for the strange and unusual.
Well, last year in Las Vegas, I uncovered a series of murders that turned out to have been committed by a vampire.
And what is the Kolchak Tapes?
It's a podcast.
All about Carl Kolchak,
What's a Kolchak?
the Night Stalker.
And where can you get it?
On iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and at www.kolchaktapes.com.
As foolish a game as any that Gory the Ghoul could make up.
Socks don't have to come in just black and white, and at Jilly's Socks and Such, you can find not only that unique pair of sassy socks, but also gifts for any occasion. Started by former teacher Lori and former student, now namesake Jillian, their store has a pair of socks for every event, personality, and interest. Be it a snarky pair for work, a pair emblazoned with your favorite sports team, or just something silly for lounging, Jilly's Socks and Such can have you sliding into your new favorite pair of socks today. I just recently picked up a pair of Bigfoot socks that are about as badass as they are comfy, and they are a perfect addition to my growing collection of socks. They are located at 3900 Old Cheney Road, Suite 202, Lincoln, Nebraska, and online at jillysocks.com. Mention the Kulturecast and get 15% off your next purchase at Jilly's, and remember, let your socks do the talking at Jilly's Socks and Such.
Here's what some people are saying about the Projection Booth podcast.
Week after week, I'm mesmerized by the focus given great films and questionable films alike. But every episode is a learning and entertaining experience.
This is hands down the best movie podcast. They cover so many different genres across so many years, from obscure movies to blockbusters.
If there's only one podcast about movies and cinema that you listen to, make it this one.
The Projection Booth podcast, with new episodes available every week at projectionboothpodcast.com.
All right, we are back, and we are going to talk a little bit about some movies that we meant to talk about, but ended up kind of running out of time due to some scheduling between you and I. Let's talk about Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, just briefly. I liked it a lot. It was fucking stupid, but I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it's definitely stupid. It was stupid.
Like,
it was
really,
fun.
really stupid.
Oh yeah, like 100% stupid. Like, I don't know.
Like,
Jurassic World was.
There are some things in Jurassic World that are like they talk about it once, and it's really important.
Yeah.
And it goes nowhere. It's used as like an out for the climax of the film.
Jurassic World, the first one from a few years ago, was also stupid, but was stupid in a forgivable way because it was doing the whole reboot and semi-remake and introducing new characters and like doing new stuff and like we're gonna flip the velociraptors on the head because like in the first movie they killed everybody and now they're our friends because we trained them. And I'm like, all right, cool, like yeah. And then this movie, they basically just said, hey, remember all the shit from the first movie? Yeah. Fuck it. Who cares? And then, like, remember how we fucking genetically engineered a dinosaur in the first movie? Guess what? We're going to do it again. And it's going to be even scarier this time.
But smaller. But scarier.
It's smaller, but scarier somehow. But smaller. I don't know. I was just like, what? You didn't even come up with a new villain in this movie? Like, you literally just did the same thing, but just, like, in California instead of, like, Costa Rica in an island. Like, you just, I don't know.
It's a dumb fucking movie.
Yeah.
But I'll say this much. J.A. Bayona, the director, he brought his own spin to it. I think it could have been a lot more. I think that they really, like, I don't know. It like they could have let it be a little bit more like horror film because that's what he's good at is like gothic horror. And
yeah,
it felt a little disappointing.
Cool. That would have been fucking so cool if they would have made it like a fucking crazy horror movie. Because that's like essentially what the first Jurassic Park is like a horror movie with dinosaurs. Like
it's Jaws on land.
Yeah, it's kind of like an action movie. It's kind of like a monster movie. It's kind of all of these things, and that's kind of why it works because it's legitimately scary because you watch it and you're like, oh fuck, dinosaurs are real and dinosaurs will fuck you up. So yeah, dude, I want to watch dinosaurs fuck people up.
And let's not forget that Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom has an actually like pretty sad scene in it. The thing with the brachiosaur on the dock I thought was like really well done.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty dinosaur heart-wrenching. I was like, oh, no, dinosaur, no.
You want to know the most fucked up part about it? I don't know if you read this. I think J.A. Bayona said it yesterday, that you're going to love this. That brachiosaur that dies in that scene is the brachiosaur that Dr. Grant sees at the beginning of Jurassic Park.
It's the very first one.
Yeah, so you're welcome.
Wow, they really came full circle and just killed our childhood in front of us.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great.
But so Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, it's okay. It's interesting. It's fun. It's stupid. Don't go in expecting much because you're not going to get a whole lot out of it.
If you go into it expecting just like a stupid dinosaur movie, then you're going to have a good time. If you're going into it expecting anything more than that, then you're going to have a bad time.
And you know what? The movie needed more Jeff Goldblum.
All the Jeff Goldblum scenes are in the fucking trailer. Fuck movies for doing that.
They are the bookends of the film.
Fuck movies for doing that, okay? Stop putting all of one person's spot in the whole fucking, like, in the trailer. Why are you going to make it seem like Jeff Goldblum is in this movie when he's only in the trailer? And then they were just like, fuck, we got to put him in the movie, I guess, because he was in the trailer.
Yeah.
That was it. He has 2.5 minutes of screen time, and it is all the trailer.
And hopefully he gets more in the next movie. Hopefully the next movie is like a reunion since we're not going to spoil the movie, but since the end of the movie is so kind of franchise changing.
Yeah, it's interesting to see where they go from here. It's going to be some sort of like a weird, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes type of thing.
Yeah.
Rise of the Planet of the Apes? Maybe.
Rise of the Dinosaurs of the Apes?
Rise of the Planet of the Jurassic Sauruses.
Well, I've been in wrestling and I never seen no 8-foot lizard man walking around before. That's the movie we're getting. 8-foot lizard men walking. Human dinosaur hybrids.
Ugh. I'll go see that movie.
That was going to be a thing at one point. That's the worst part.
Oh, no.
I didn't see the next two movies we're talking about, so you can kind of give a quick riff on each. Incredibles 2 and Sicario Day of the Soldado.
Incredibles cool. Incredibles 2 was cool, I guess. I guess the nostalgia factor didn't really have an effect on my viewing experience. The first movie was great when it came out, but it also came out, 15 fucking years ago?
14 years ago.
Yeah, so 14 years ago when I was 16 years old and that movie came out. That was cool because I was like, oh, I'm a teenager and like this is kind of like a Disney movie for kids, but it's like also about family. And so it's like me and my family can watch it and it's cool and like we all connect to somebody.
It's a Disney superhero movie.
Sure,
Little did we know. Little did we know.
But then like, okay, we're going to have the next one and it's going to come out fucking almost 15 years later. And 2 weeks have passed in their universe? Like, come on, dude.
No, I thought that the movie picks up right at the end of the first movie.
Yeah, I don't know. It just picks up immediately, and then I'm like, I don't even care. I didn't even watch the first Incredibles because I was like, I don't care. I don't need to watch the first Incredibles.
You mean watch it again?
Yeah, I watched it. I've probably watched it several times over the last forever years. But it's also not one of those movies that I'm like gonna go back and watch. For some people, like that's their favorite Pixar movie, and they're
I don't get it.
And it's fine. Like that's cool. I can totally see that being somebody's favorite Pixar movie. I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it. Like that's cool. Mine is Ratatouille. So if they do a fucking Ratatouille sequel in fucking 10 years, then I will go and I will see it and I will cry. But
did you cry in the first Ratatouille?
No, never. I've never cried once in my life.
Did you actually cry during Ratatouille?
I've never cried ever in my life.
Okay, you can be honest. Did you cry during Ratatouille? When would you have cried during Ratatouille?
I didn't cry.
I know when you cried. Never mind. I know when you cried when he eats the fucking food at the end of the movie and he like transports back to his childhood. Yeah, I got you. I'm right there with you, big fella. Dude, I have no problem admitting I cried during Coco like 3 or 4 times.
I only cried during Coco once.
But Coco is like, that movie is a gut punch at the end.
Dude, when he plays the song and he's like, oh my God, you're my dad. And he's like, what? He's like, no, you're my grandpa. I mean, whatever.
Yeah. And like oh my God, just, whew, boy.
Yeah. I was like, oh, fuck. Anyways, yeah. It was cool. Without getting into like spoilers or anything like that. If you're into The Incredibles, then it's a cool continuation. If you're like me and you didn't really care, and it's honestly, I feel like it's been too fucking long at this point for me to care, then whatever. You're not missing a whole lot. There's some,
Which is funny considering how we loved Super Troopers 2, which came out even longer from when the original came out.
Yeah, I don't know. I watched Super Troopers 2 again recently, and I was like, this movie really only has like a couple of really funny parts. Like, in comparison to the first movie that is fucking like hysterical from start to finish, like this movie
I watched it again and I really liked it.
See, I've definitely soured on it a little bit. Interesting.
I don't know. I watched it when I was high, so that probably has something to do with it.
Oh, yeah. That'll do it. Yeah.
But I mean, to be fair, like, they wrote that movie when they were high.
True. Probably. I mean...
probably.
The first one, definitely. I don't know. Yeah. They're all old now. I don't know if they can smoke reefer anymore.
Reefer? We're going to watch you while you smoke the whole bag. Please, no. Oh, my God.
Yeah. I don't know. Going back to Super Troopers 2, the Canadian guys, I think, are the funniest fucking part of the whole fucking movie. That's the part that I was laughing at the most, is the fucking Mounties.
Will Sasso, dude.
Oh, my God. When they were talking about fucking Danny DeVito, I fucking was crying during that scene. Because he's just like, I know who Danny DeVito is. I'm just fucking with him. And I was like, oh, my God.
Dude, and I watched a video today where Will Sasso does the most amazing Jesse Ventura impersonation. I don't know if you know I'm assuming you know who Jesse Ventura is.
Yeah, he was like the governor of Minnesota, but before that he was a wrestler.
And now he's like a conspiracy theorist. Kind of in the vein of Alex Jones. And his show Conspiracy Theory with Jesse Ventura is a perfect 1 hour presentation of insanity via the way of a former wrestler turned Minnesota's governor of all people. And Will Sasso does the funniest fucking impersonation. It's like spot on. So every time I see something that Will Sasso does, I'm just like, man, Will Sasso's he's probably a fucking cool guy.
He's very funny, man. And I don't know if I just if I just don't see the stuff that he's working on, but I feel like he deserves more work. So
agreed.
I don't know.
Agreed. Remember when he was in the Three Stooges movie?
Yeah, remember the Three Stooges movie? That was weird.
It wasn't bad though.
Yeah, I don't really remember it much, to be honest.
But it wasn't a train wreck like Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, Dumb and Dumber was pretty bad.
Let's never talk of that movie again. Speaking of sequels, how was Sicario: Day of the Soldado?
That was an interesting movie. It's so the first, and I actually watched these movies out of order. I watched Day of the Soldado before I watched the first Sicario. I watched the first Sicario like the next day. So my introduction to all the characters was in Day of the Soldado, and I was like, okay, I understand who everybody kind of is. You have Benicio del Toro's character, who's like really just like the assassin hellbent on, doing whatever it takes type of guy. And then you have Brolin, who's just like the CIA guy who's really unlikable. He's the fucking biggest asshole. But he's like,
he's a schemer.
Yeah, he's a total schemer. He's doing everything like seemingly for a reason. And he's just like, he doesn't give a shit. He's gonna fucking get the goddamn job done. Like, whether or not you fucking like it, whether or not he has to drag you kicking and streaming through the whole thing.
Motherfucker wears Crocs. Come on.
Yeah. And so it's interesting because Soldado is a much more action-packed movie than the original one was. The original one, which I actually liked a lot, and I like it a lot more than the second one. But the original one is really like all about just drawing out the tension as long as humanly possible until you are literally about to fucking lose your goddamn mind. And then you get these little bursts of like action, but it takes forever for the first movie to for you to get to those points. This movie, they really sped everything up. Like, it starts with an extremely violent, extremely explosive sequence right away. The violence is much more like brutal in this movie than it was in the first. And in the first, it really wasn't holding back a lot. I think the first one was maybe done a little bit more tastefully, but I think that's just a stylistic choice between the two different directors. Denis Villeneuve did the first one, and I don't know who did the second one. Some other guy who...
Which is, by the way, a testament to the movie itself.
Yeah. Whoever directed the second one was definitely trying to piggyback off of Denis Villeneuve's style from the first one, like visually and sort of aesthetically, for sure. And I guess, that makes sense because it's the same universe. It's some of the same characters. It almost felt like watching these movies out of order was not a problem. Like there was not a through line in between the two movies where you had to see the first one before you saw the second one. You could just go see them. It's just like adventure of the week type of thing. It's just like, here's some of the same characters that you knew from the other movie doing something similar, but with other people. It was a cool movie, and they definitely set it up to like do more of them. And I've heard the director say in interviews that they want it to be some sort of like an anthology style series, so that they're not necessarily, back-to-back sequels or anything, which I think could be a cool idea. But I also would like them to introduce like maybe different characters doing different things, maybe from like different points of view, instead of just like the same guys essentially doing the same thing over and over again, which was and sort of was not the case in Day of the Soldado. But if you haven't seen it, it's cool. It's definitely worth watching if you're not a fan of...
You won't see the engineer that slams the Nissan Rogue's door 13,920 times. Or the corrosive chamber that simulates 15 years of life in 5 months. Or the Rogue heat-baked for over 300 combined hours. What you will see is a vehicle that can take punch after punch and keep rolling. Nissan, #1 in new vehicle quality among mainstream brands by J.D. Power. We put it through the worst, so you get its best. For J.D. Power 2025 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Awards based on 2025 model year. Newer models may be shown.
Hello, filthy movie lovers. My name is Gentry Austin.
And I'm Casey Scott.
And we're the hosts of The Sin Syndicate, film podcast for something weirdos, anti-criterion bros, and Joseph Sarno aficionados. Join us semi-weekly as we peer into the adults-only theaters and sticky-floored cinemas of the golden age of sexploitation, when the morals were loose, the laws were murky, and the intercourse was all simulated. Find us now on the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
Like really realistic, like brutal violence, then don't watch it because you're going to be grossed out.
All I know is that scene from the trailer where Benicio del Toro just goes, adios, and fucking flicks the trigger on the gun like a million times. That's all.
Oh, yeah, and he's just like... Yeah, it's fucked up. It makes me want to murder somebody like that, actually, though.
That's like a Mexican, it's like a Mexican mafia fucking drug cartel thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I've never dealt with the drug cartels. I just get my weed from the store.
Yeah, right. Let's keep it that way. I think that's it though for the movies, right?
Yeah. I mean, what other movies were we supposed to talk about?
That's it.
I mean, what other movies have you even seen? Like, what else is even out?
That's it.
I want to go see Uncle Drew because I fucking love those commercials, and I really want to see Shaq and shit in a fucking movie.
And the rich get richer in LA. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Ding dong.
Welcome home.
Welcome home.
King James.
Welcome home. He's from fucking Ohio.
He has lived in Los Angeles for the last several years. Thank you very much.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So.
You know what? Congratulations, never getting to the finals ever again. Sorry, LeBron.
LeBron carried the fucking worst team in the NBA.
Them to the finals. And they still lost.
But they were terrible, and we are a much better team than they are.
Okay, first off, the Lakers are garbage. They were garbage last year. You know that. Secondly, the problem is now instead of facing the the Warriors in the finals, he has to face the Warriors in the playoffs.
Well,
which means
we're gonna have to face the fucking Warriors all fucking year.
Yeah, well, that's my point. Is now you've made it where the Warriors are going to be like ever present.
Yeah,
you have to get through them now to get to the championship. Which I'm gonna be honest, that's
not looking great.
Yeah, not when they signed DeMarcus Cousins to a 1-year, $5 million, mid-level exception contract, because apparently no one wanted the best big man in the NBA. So whatever, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't know. There's been some weird shit going on because we turned him down. So I don't know why that is, but
hey, you guys signed Rajon Rondo, so okay.
I mean, sure, he's a really good defender, I guess.
He's a from what I've heard, he's and from what I've seen, except for when he played for my team, for the Mavs, he's a really smart guy. He's a very basketball IQ is very high.
Yeah, he's a very smart basketball player. He's not a great scorer, but if he can make up for not scoring by facilitating and playing fucking defense and making plays happen, then fuck yeah, dude. You guys just have the dumpster human being that is LeVar Ball. Yeah, well, I was really hoping that we were going to trade Lonzo, and then somebody leaked that he was hurt, and so nobody wanted to pick him up.
Somebody leaked that he was hurt. Who could that have been? Definitely not Lonzo Ball. Definitely not Lonzo Ball.
Ugh,
what an asshole. Fuck that whole family.
Yeah, I don't know.
I could seriously. It's clown shit. It has no place in the NBA. That's like WWE shit.
Yeah. Well, whatever. I expect that kind of shit in a fucking, in a sports or whatever. I mean,
I expect it from the players, not from the player's dad.
Yeah. I expect it from the president, not from my professional sports.
Right. I expect it from the player, not from the player's dad, when the player is garbage and can't do anything.
Yeah, you can't talk shit when you're a fucking kid who's like 19 years old and has never played a day in the NBA in his life, and you're just like, he's the fucking greatest thing since fucking Wonder Bread.
Can't shoot the ball at all.
I mean, I don't know. He's got a fucking ugly shot, but if he can fucking fix it so that it's not stupid, then okay. Then maybe.
At least he's not Markelle Fultz, who like had a bad case of the yips and can't do anything.
Oh, yeah. Well, sometimes that happens. Some people aren't cut out for the NBA.
Yeah. Well, and again, I mean, the rich get richer. The Lakers got their big corner piece player for a couple years.
Yeah. I mean, if for no other reason, I hope that he can impart some magical LeBron wisdom on some of the younger guys so that, our team can grow and get better and,
Well, he is their head coach now, so.
Essentially, yes. I hate that that's a thing, too. I hate that that's a thing that like LeBron just goes onto a team and then he's like, all right, I'm taking over this motherfucker. And Luke Walton's just like, excuse me? What about me?
They were in the same draft class.
Yeah, they were. And I bet you Luke Walton's a better coach.
Well, and again, I mean, this whole thing with LeBron is, to me, I get why he did it. It makes sense to me. I know why he went to the Lakers, but he sure was talking a lot of shit to the contrary for like the last 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, whatever, dude. That's just,
I get it. I mean, you want to play for a prestige team. The Cleveland Cavaliers are not a prestige team. Neither are the Miami Heat. If you want to end your career somewhere, I'll be honest, I can't see a better team to end your career with than the team of the NBA. I mean, they're the NBA's team. They are the NBA's equivalent of the Dallas Cowboys. Like, you could be a Lakers fan and live anywhere in this country, and someone will just be like, yeah, I get it. Like, you could be a Cowboys fan and live anywhere. It's like a very like non-region locked team, if that makes sense.
I suppose.
Like, who's gonna be a Dallas Mavericks fan if you live in like Lincoln, Nebraska?
You?
Okay, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I don't know. Just you and then the one other unfortunate bastard who moved from Dallas to fucking Lincoln, Nebraska.
The Mavs are great.
Okay.
They won that. Remember when they won that one year? That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that one time. That was pretty
2011,
good.
Bro. Everybody was a Mavs fan because nobody wanted to see LeBron win.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But basketball talk aside, well, let's take a break and we'll play a preview for the next Kulturecast.
FBI, show me your hands!
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Just a little nervous.
Wow, you look very handsome.
I just don't want to screw it up, you know?
You have been preparing for this meeting for 6 months. You've got this.
Let me ask you guys a question. Daddy loves who?
Me.
Daddy loves who?
Me!
Exactly. Daddy's gonna go make that bacon.
Gross.
Mr. Sawyer, is your family enjoying their stay?
Very much so. They're shocked you gave us the entire floor.
After your security assessment, what do you think of the building?
With all due respect, he's a glorified security guard.
Please.
The Pearl is the tallest, most advanced building in the world. You've built a vertical city, but you've brought with it every single safety and security challenge that I could think of.
We thought this floor was empty.
So did I.
Not only have you brought them all indoors, but you've trapped them 240 floors in the air. No one really knows what would happen if things go wrong. But I'm just a glorified security guard, so what the hell do I know anyway? What's going on?
The 96th floor is on fire.
You're gonna be just fine, I promise you that.
No! Daddy!
Tell me, how much do you love your family?
If we're gonna get out of here, you're gonna have to tell me the truth.
There's a reason they chose this building.
My family is the only thing that matters to me right now.
That's right. On the next Kulturecast, we're going to be talking about a movie that does not need to exist, but I guarantee you it's going to make a ton of money. I know Eric's looking forward to it. We're going to be talking about the Die Hard remake known as Skyscraper, featuring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's my boy, but I'm totally fucking crazy vertigo when it comes to heights, so this movie's going to suck.
Movie looks fucking bad. It looks so dumb.
I mean, whatever, dude. It's gonna be better than Rampage.
I liked Rampage, though.
Right? But this movie looks better than Rampage.
Okay, no, it doesn't, because Rampage had a giant fucking monkey that was jumping around and punching shit.
This movie has a giant skyscraper that is slowly burning down while Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has to fight his way out of it.
I liked it more when it was Die Hard and the Towering Inferno.
Who cares, man? They took like...
I like that. Who fucking cares?
Who fucking cares? I like Dwayne Johnson as an actor. I think he's fucking awesome.
No, it's not a matter of The Rock. The Rock is perfectly fine as an actor. It's just the premise of the movie looks goddamn dumb.
Whatever, dude. I'm gonna fucking.
It looks derivative. Have we really gotten to the point now where we're just remaking Die Hard?
I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, there's another Die Hard movie coming out undoubtedly in the next couple of years, so I guess it doesn't really matter.
Ugh. Did you see that they're doing the roast of Bruce Willis on Comedy Central?
Man, who cares? Bruce Willis roasts himself every time he makes a new movie.
Oh,
it's fucking true, dude. He hasn't made a movie of relevancy since, like, dude, I don't even know. Like, I can't remember the last Bruce Willis movie I cared about.
Since like 1990.
Cop Out, the movie that destroyed
Cop Out is terrible.
the movie that destroyed Kevin Smith's idea that Bruce Willis was a decent human being.
Yeah, apparently Bruce Willis was not a kind man to Kevin Smith.
Well, maybe Bruce Willis will be good in, what's that movie called? Glass?
Ooh, that'll be cool. That's the only, the last good movie that Bruce Willis was in, he was in for 3 seconds. And that movie was Split when he cameoed in it. Yeah.
But until we talk about Skyscraper, what have you been up to, Eric?
Nothing. Just being hot as fuck. It was like 112 degrees here, like 3 days in a row.
Dude, like Smash Mouth said, bro, you'll be walking on the sun. Am I right?
Dude, I was living inside the sun.
I hear that.
So that was cool. So it's that time of year where I just wear like my Daisy Duke shorts and my Hawaiian t-shirts, and it's great, and I love it. And yeah, I'm ready to party. So let's party. And actually, we are gonna party because you're gonna be here soon.
That's right. I'm finally going to meet Eric in person.
Are we gonna do an episode of the podcast from the same place?
I think we have to do something.
We should do an episode of the podcast where we're sitting in the same room.
That would be so weird.
Yeah. We don't even, we could go see a movie and then just talk about it afterwards.
I'll look over you and be like, what do you think, Eric? It's like, oh my God, he's right there.
Oh, we don't have to like somehow wait for the other person to stop talking. I could just look at you and just give you the eyes to shut the fuck up so I can say something.
Stop talking. Okay. So I'm gonna be going to visit Eric. I'm gonna actually also be going to visit Mike Wallace, who lives in Las Vegas. So that's gonna be cool too. I'm going on a little bit of a buddy of mine and I are going on a road trip, a decade in the making. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a good time.
Hell yeah,
really
dude.
Looking forward to it. 18-hour drive in one day, bro. That's how you fucking do it.
Oh, I've done that before. That ain't shit.
Yeah. No, it's not. I mean, I drove 28 hours or 24 hours to
All right.
LA
it's not a
from,
fucking big dick competition, all right?
Hey, bro, LA to Dallas is a fucking nightmare too, man.
Yeah, that's a fucking long ass way. And fucking West Texas is nothing for 10 hours.
Yeah. Oh, I'm aware.
I've done that drive. It sucks.
Yeah. It really does. But I'm going to be in LA for a couple days hanging out with Eric and enjoying the lovely sights, and hopefully it's not as goddamn hot. But,
I don't know. Yeah, we're at that time of year where it's like either going to be totally fine outside or it's going to be totally scorching outside. So
which is a bummer because normally every time I've been to LA, the weather's been nice. But if we end up going like to Universal Studios or something, if it's 112 degrees, ain't nobody gonna be there. So
I mean, I don't know.
Ain't nobody there anyways, to be perfectly honest.
Just fucking go to the beach because it's always nice at the beach. Even when it's shitty at the beach, it's
I was saying, if I liked the beach, I'd be down. I'm just
you
not
just
like
don't like the beach because you're a landlocked motherfucker, dude. You just love being landlocked.
I don't like the beach because I don't like sand. It's coarse and gritty and it gets everywhere.
I hate you so much. I'm gonna murder you in your sleep.
Oh my God, you're welcome.
I hate you.
r/prequel memes, dog. It's coarse and gritty and it gets everywhere. I think I delivered that line better than Hayden Christensen did.
I think I just threw up in my mouth.
Dude, Hayden Christensen he's great. I loved his version of Pinocchio in those prequel movies. So wooden, yet so lifelike at the same time. He is a real boy.
I'm just going to say that Jumper is my third favorite movie. So.
Oh, dearie. But you can follow me on Twitter at Culture Stash. You can follow Eric on Twitter at Tychomagnetics. You can follow Culture Shocked on Twitter at Culture Shocked. You can find the Kulturecast at www.kulturecast.com. That's right. We own the domain, bitch. Go there. That's our Spreaker. That's our Spreaker feed. If you want to listen to the Kulturecast, that's the place to do it. We're on all podcatcher apps on iOS and Android and a Windows phone, if that's still a thing. If you want to help us out, download the Spreaker app and listen to it there. That's who hosts us. There's some cool cats. It's a great app. And there'll be links in the description of the episode to Patreon where you can kick a couple dollars our way. Every little bit helps. There's some addendum stuff that we did a while back. Trying to come up with some other stuff to give the people that pay money to listen to us talk. Other than that, though, big thanks to Eric and Wavoka for letting us use one of their songs as the outro for the podcast. Or intro, excuse me. And my good buddy Justin Scott for the outro. And we'll see you on the next Kulturecast.
Bye-bye.
You know how we do, I'm just two-step, drink in my right hand, phone in my other hand, getting to the money, oh man, two-step, posted with the crew, yeah, you know how we do.
Hey, two-step, you know what I'm saying, 1, 2, 1, 2.